What we're looking here is a 2009 Lexus GX470 V8, of course. What we're doing today is a simple engine oil change, and as well as the oil filter. Okay, to do this job, the tools that you would need and the material that you would need today is you would need the oil filter wrench, you would need the ratchet, the extension, the Phillip or the flat head screwdriver. You're going to need the 10 millimeter, the 12 millimeter, and the 14 millimeter. And for the material, you would need 6.6 quarts of 5W30. And the last thing you would need is the oil filter. You don't have to have this if you don't have one. I just use it to make the job a little quicker. Okay, so to get to the oil filter that you will need to remove, you will need to remove this undercarriage, this front piece undercarriage. This is the only thing that you would have to remove to get to the oil filter. This undercarriage has about 7 screws, I believe. Let me count here. There's 1. I put them back on here so that I don't lose them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To remove these right here, you will need a 10 and a 12, as well as a Phillips screwdriver. I will show you in a second underneath the car what I remove. Okay, as you can see here, the undercarriage that I removed. Once you have it removed, you'll have access to the oil filter. The oil filter will be on the driver's side. That piece is pretty heavy, if you ask me, especially when you're underneath the car. It won't fall on you because it has 2 hooks here that will hold it in place. There's one here on the driver's side, and there's one more here on the passenger side. But just, support it around this area. You see my hand? Just support it around this area. Don't let it slap you on your head or anything like that. So it's fairly easy. Just let the undercarriage go down, and then just push it up so that it will come off of these 2 hooks. Okay, to drain out the engine oil, what you will need to do is to remove this plate here. All you have to do is pull it down. Okay. There you go. So as you can see, this plate is removed. If you look underneath here, you can see the drain plug. This is a 14 millimeter socket that you would need. So we'll go ahead and drain that out. Okay, so I have drained out the oil. I am underneath the car right now. And I mentioned earlier in the video that you have to remove this plate right here, this plastic plate right here. It goes right over here. You just have to remove it to get to the oil pan drain plug. To remove it, you will need a 14 millimeter socket. You will have to turn it counterclockwise to remove the drain plug. To tighten back up, you would have to turn it clockwise. That's really all to it to drain out the oil. Okay, I got the oil filter to loosen up, and as you can see here, the oil is dripping down. I am going to let it finish dripping down, and then I will remove it entirely once it's done. Okay, so here's the new oil filter. What I did was I looped it up around the gasket a little bit. You can use your new oil or you can use your old oil. Just get your fingertip and just apply over the gasket. Okay, so I just installed the new oil filter. So when you're installing the new filter, make sure that you're using your hand to first tighten it up. You want to turn it clockwise. Once it's tight, then you want to go ahead and use your oil filter wrench to turn it a quarter, and then you can inspect later if it's leaking or not. You may have to tighten it a little bit, tighten up a little bit more. To fill up the engine oil, the new one, of course, this car takes 6.6 quarts, so what I did was I put in 6.5. I need to get the car down to level, and as well as to check if there are any leaks for the oil filter and the oil pan drain plug. So what I'm going to do right now is turn on the engine to inspect that. Okay, it has been running for about 3 to 4 minutes already. As you can see, there are no leaks. You need to put back that plate for the oil drain plug area, and then here you need to put this back, the undercarriage cover. Is pretty straightforward.